We'll start off by looking at the symbols used to represent sharps, flats, and naturals. The sharp symbol looks like this. The flat symbol like this. And the natural symbol looks like this. The first thing to say about all these symbols is that they apply equally to all notes. In other words, all notes are affected in exactly the same way. So if we just draw out our music alphabet here, currently all these notes are naturals. I know they're naturals because there's no sharp or flat sign in there telling me that adjustment has been made, and we're not in the context of a key signature where sharps or flats might apply. So I can add an accidental to any of these notes and it will have the same effect. I could add a flat symbol to this C, turning it into C flat, and I could add a sharp symbol to this E, turning it into E sharp. So what's the specific function of each of these symbols? Well, the sharp symbol raises a note a half step or semitone. The flat symbol lowers a note a half step or semitone. And the natural symbol cancels out any previous accidental. And when I look at this and I read the letter names A, B, C flat, E sharp, the ones that have accidentals, I'm reading the letter name first and then saying the accidental, C flat. And the same here, E sharp, I'm saying the letter name first, then the accidental. And that's quite normal. However, in notation, it works slightly differently. So if we just look at a stave, and we'll work in treble clef, when I draw a C up here, if I want to lower that note and use a flat to do that, the accidental actually goes in front of the note, although I'll still refer to that as C flat. And the same with the E. If I wanted to raise that a half step, I would just use a sharp in front of it. And the same thing, I would refer to that as E sharp. But there's a really good practical reason why accidentals belong in front of notes and not after them, although that's the way we describe them. The reason is that if someone is playing this piece of music and they come along and get to C, if the flat symbol is after the note, they may well play a C natural before realizing that an adjustment has been made and there's no time to fix it. So always in front of the notes that they apply to. And in the same way that we very specifically write the note heads on lines or in spaces, the accidentals that apply to these notes need to share the line or space with the note that they affect. Okay, let's look at accidentals in the context of our key signature, where slightly different rules apply. If we again work in treble clef, and we'll work in the key of G major, so 1 sharp. We'll use a time signature of 3/4, a simple time. And I'm going to draw out an ascending melodic phrase that starts on C and just walks up the scale. So it starts on C, then goes D, E, F sharp, another F sharp, and then G. And that's an ascending musical phrase. So it sounds like this currently. When we get to the last note in the first bar, we need to apply this sharp. and turns that note into F sharp. In the next bar, the first note is also F sharp. It's also affected by this key signature sharp here. In a key signature, the sharps or flats that are employed at the beginning apply to everything. In other words, not just F's on this line, but F's written in this space and anywhere else on the stave. So it kind of has a blanket effect. If I decide to use an accidental to alter that sharp, if I want to write in a natural symbol here, that changes that note from F sharp to F natural. But it only lasts up to the bar line. After we cross the bar line, everything reverts to key signature. And that's the way accidentals work in the context of a key signature. The original melody sounded like this. And with the accidental in place, it now sounds like this. So sharps, raised notes a half step, flats, lower notes a half step, and as we can see here, naturals cancel out any previous accidental.